Okay,
I think that's what they call it.
is everybody ready?
Let me pull up the agenda. Yeah.
Okay, we'll bring this Public Works Committee meeting to order. Everybody's here. As everybody knows, Linda Garath has resigned. So her position will be empty until we find another one to replace her. This meeting was posted as required by state law, and we'll stand for a moment of silent prayer and pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, did everybody have a chance to review the meeting minutes from last meeting? Any adjustments or changes needed? Seeing none, we'll post those as written. Items 3A, IT quarterly report. Mr. Joel, you got the floor.
All right, thank you, and good afternoon.
Afternoon.
Couple big updates here. I'll start with the small updates. On the redesign access database initiative, I think the only application we're working on right now, and we're still waiting with on the county highway to work with them and collaborate. We only have one application left, and then that project's pretty much done. Let's see here, improving Citrix and more cloud solutions. We continue to work with departments, helping them move data to more cloud services like Microsoft SharePoint and Microsoft Teams. So that's continuing on. Like I said, that's one of those longer projects that's going to take multiple years because we have so much data and there's so many things that tie into the data that we have.
Sure.
But that's moving along. We keep that focus on moving stuff to the cloud. On the enhancements to IT infrastructure, a lot of new infrastructure has been put in place. We are going to be finished at the Public Agency Center, replacing switches as of next week, Tuesday. We have it scheduled to do the third floor. The last 2 weeks, we've knocked out the first floor and the second floor. And now, thanks to Eric, who's done a real good job at kind of leading that project, we'll knock out that project and that'll be done ahead of schedule. And then we'll move on to the wireless access points, replacing all these wireless that give us the Wi-Fi here in the building, coming up on 5-6 years old. So it's about time for them to go. We do have them being staged right now and getting ready for production, so that's good. Eric is continuously working on our vulnerability management program. We've taken major strides in getting internal processes done and how we want to handle vulnerabilities, which include security patching of computers. He's really done a great job taking leadership of that. So I thank you for letting me bring him on. And thank you, Eric. And shared services, closing up on a couple final tasks for some of the new municipalities that we brought on recently. Town of Farmington, Town of Kewaskum, and the Town of Erin. Just a couple minor projects of onboarding, basically getting them on Office 365 is some of the last tasks we have to do. Basically have to take their mail from their old service, move it over to the new service, and get them up and running. So just closing tasks on those. Some of those have already been scheduled. But after we're done with these onboarding tasks, then we'll kind of move into a monitoring and seeing what our capacity is and have
Sure.
better accurate results on that.
Okay. Oh, I see that Town of Erin is part of the. On a page on its own, I saw the town.
Oh, yeah,
What is that?
it's kind of a straggler by itself.
Shared services. So, all right, sounds good. Any questions from anybody? Easy day today.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. All right, and then moving on to transit quarterly report. There we go.
Hello,
How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you guys? Let's see.
Yeah, it looks like the ridership dropped a little bit in May.
report first and we're actually numbers.
Oh, right, the quarterly EOS initiatives. So I'll do the fleet management first. So the first bullet there for researching software solutions. So since I started, I've evaluated multiple fleet tracking platforms and coordinated closely with our IT team. So after a few demos and department discussions, we've been working on a customized internal application that fit the county's needs without adding any licensing costs. So the system would centralize maintenance history, asset information, odometer tracking, and preventative maintenance schedules. So development on that has been underway. Let's see. So for piloting an internal service fund, so we've been looking into piloting kind of a shadow pilot internal service fund where we would create the accounts, but we wouldn't bill any departments. We would use the internal system of tracking the data to create kind of mock invoices for the departments to see what that would look like in that system. And then for transit, so we've been looking at cost-effective options. So far, with the last committee, we've increased the fares. With this committee, we've shortened the hours of the day. We've evaluated other transportation options. We've looked at weekend ridership statistics, and policies and procedures have been amended this year for the transit system after any changes. So we continue to look at other options that would increase efficiency for transit.
Yeah, Supervisor McCulloch, did you have a question?
Yeah, I did,
regards to-
under the pilot fleet management, EOS. So, the one that continued to investigate software solutions that you were talking about. So, the color on it is, yellow, for lack of a better color, and so that shows completed in 5/31/25. Have we completed that, or is that something that's ongoing?
Well, I guess the completed would be investigating the other softwares, and then as
Okay.
far as I suppose it's on track. Well,
Yes, we haven't
Past the
completed,
date, but-
yeah, so we've completed the kind of the vetting process.
right.
But
We've not
haven't-
purchased any.
I got you.
Right.
Okay, right. And the goal is not to do that, that we may do that in-house, correct?
Right, in-house.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Yeah, oh, I'm sorry.
And if I could add to the shared ride taxi analysis, as we pointed out before, Charlie has made contact with some other transit providers, some that are in the county, some like Uber and Lyft that are somewhat in the county. We just haven't had a lot of success going down those roads yet, but we're still trying to go down those roads and see what else could be out there as well.
Maybe
Potential
someday
partners.
something will hit, right?
We're hoping.
Any other questions on the transit stuff, or did you have more to cover yet? Or are you gonna go over I'm looking at the chart of all the rides, so.
Oh,
I
okay.
don't know
Oh,
if
the
that's
next.
something that-
You're on ridership, okay.
Yeah, I'm on the ridership already, so I don't know if I kind of jumped ahead to that or, okay.
Okay.
Now, like I said, it looks like it just dropped down a little bit.
Mhm.
I don't know if anybody else has any other questions other than we keep monitoring it and just see where it goes.
Well, the cost per hour keeps moving up too, so it's, yeah, ahead of inflation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and
But no news. but that's-
I think it'll continue until either we raise the rider fees again or look at cutting more hours or something, right?
Yeah.
I don't see that changing. Any other input on this? Okay, seeing none, I believe we're done. Thank you.
Of course.
Okay, then we're moving on to D already. Resolution 2025 County Aid Bridge and Culvert Replacement for the town of Barton. Scott, Oh, I'm sorry. I need a motion in a second. Supervisor Pisfalik, Supervisor McCulick. Now you have the floor, Scott. Thank you.
Thank you. I would just like to point out that this one is a little bit different than the other ones we've talked about as by approving this one today, and then if the board does decide to approve it, that road and bridge aid fund for the towns would be zeroed out basically for the remainder of 2025. And I want to explain to you what that looks like then. So let's just say town B has a culvert that fails. Maybe a flood comes through and blows a culvert out, or they find now a culvert that's rotted and they want to replace it, that's 3 foot or larger. They would not be able to solicit us for funds until next year. Let me rephrase it. They could solicit you right now, but they wouldn't get repaid until next year. And so I just want to make sure I'm clear on that. And why the town is asking for the funds now is even though the bridge is not going to be constructed until 2027, they are seeing engineering costs now. And so they had the public information meeting, they're doing design work. So they've been getting invoices from the DOT, and being a town having limited funds, town of Barton's a relatively small town.
Sure.
They'd like to start paying those bills off and getting half of that paid by this fund. So there's that option as well. You are not approving all 159,000 because that's not what's in there. Now, if you do decide during your budget process to fund the road and bridge aid fund, again, whether it's 100,000 or 150 or 200, whatever the new number happens to be, then they would obviously be the first in line to receive those funds. So I want to make sure we're on the same page on that. That you're not. If this committee decides and the board decides to put $0 in that fund, the town of Barton only gets the $28,000, and that's it, right? That's what the resolution states. So the town will know that if the board decides not to fund that fund again, they will not get any more additional funds. So they're aware of that as well. So I just want to make sure I'm kind of clear on that you're only approving the 28,000 and some change tonight. We're looking at, and what I do have in the report is that the last budget cycle, 2-year budget cycle, this 2-year budget cycle, we've been doing 100,000 every year. And last budget cycle, we ran out of funds. This budget cycle, we're technically running out of funds. That we'll be looking at the budget, and you'll see a different probably number in that budget. I did send out an email to all the towns, all the town chairmen, as well as all the town clerks. Again, politely requesting them to let us know what projects they might have in the next 2 years, including this year as well. So hopefully I'll get some emails back by the due date, and we'll see if they can respond, and hopefully that'll help us decide what that dollar amount is. Again, we don't want to overtax either. We don't want to go too high, but we also don't want to be too low. So it's a little bit of a area game. We play with that money a little bit to make sure we're putting the right amount of dollars in there. We don't want to, again, overtax. We don't want to undertax. We want to make sure we're putting the right dollars in that account for the use.
Yeah, you had mentioned though, Scott, that we were looking at revisiting the taxes for that that account.
Yes.
Because when was the last time that I guess that was adjusted, or does that get adjusted every year, or has that been a while, or is it every other budget cycle?
We've done about 100,000 a year, I think, ever since about my 10 years of tenure. It's been about that.
Oh wow.
We go back and look at that. Some years we didn't use it all.
Mhm.
And some years we did, and now got some federal money with the bridge program, so they're looking at doing that. And we've been very fortunate recently too that the federal government provided enough funding with the bill funding to fund some of the local bridges at 100%. But even with that, you can see we're short on that fund potentially. So yes, you'll be given a new number, and we'll lay that out for you and why we think what we think. And again, the county doesn't benefit from that again, right? This is pass-through money for us.
Pass through, yeah. Yeah, and budget cycle, we're gonna be discussing that in August, I believe, is our
Yep,
meeting for the
correct.
budgets for Department of Public Works, so everybody knows that's coming up. Supervisor McCulick.
Yeah, Scott, I had a question. So on the first page of the committee report, it notes in the middle paragraph, the culvert and bridge aid fund currently has a balance of 28,794.39. And then when we go down to the bottom on the fiscal effect, it says the account currently has 528,794.39. It's just 28,
That
right?
it should not be
Yeah,
there.
it's just 28, right? So
Yeah.
that just basically zeroes it out
Correct.
with the need for Barton. Okay.
Yep. It basically, yes, it zeros it up. My apologies, as it should be.
Yep.
Yes, you are 100% correct.
Yep.
I will make sure that's
Yeah,
effective
so
for the
that
board.
it's zero, and then you're gonna
Yeah.
try to get some type of a census on needs for the next
Yes.
year or two.
Yes.
So that we can, so when we're going through budget, then we.
Correct. So that we can.
Maybe it is, yeah, time to move that number up a bit.
Right,
It
right.
seems like.
Yes, we're also trying to get the towns to inventory and inspect their culverts as well.
Yeah.
They had to inspect the ones that are over 6 feet. What we're trying to get them to do is to inspect all their culverts, and our GIS department created an application that was available for free to everybody to use, and we did have 3 towns take advantage of that. So that should help as well, that it's very difficult for them to tell me how many culverts they want to do when they don't even know how many culverts they have
Right.
that are even 3 foot or bigger. So that's just the inventory phase, and then the inspection to see what kind of condition they're in.
Right, okay,
So,
yep. Okay, thanks.
Any other questions? Seeing none, all approved, say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. And that is it for the agenda today. Our next meeting is July 16th, 2025. This meeting is adjourned.
it is correct in the resolution. That's the important thing, the 28,000.
Yes.
Yep,
Yep.
so, yep.